everyone, how's it going? Cloud here, and welcome to my guide on the Between the Rock quest. Now, for this quest you need the following requirements. So you must have completed these quests, the Dwarf Cannon quest and the Fishing Contest quest. As for skill requirements, you need a level 30 defense, level 40 mining, boosts are allowed, and level 50 smithing, again boosts are allowed as well. And you need to be able to defeat a level 50 to 56 enemy. The combat level depends on how much gold you mine, which will make a bit of sense a bit further on in this guide. That's it for the requirements. Now onto the items. You will need 4 gold bars. You'll need an ammo mould. This can be used from your tool belt if added. This one isn't automatically added with the default tool belt, so it might be worth you checking. You can get an ammo mould after the Dwarf Cannon quest, so that's how you can add it to the tool belt. You'll also need 50 coins and obviously relevant armor and weapons to defeat the level 50 to 56 enemy. Now on that note, the boss will change its appearance and combat style depending on your own skills, so whatever is your weakest type of fighting style will be what it uses against you. So for example, if you use melee it's going to use magic, if you use magic it's going to use range, it's always going to do the opposite to what you are. However, on that note, it's not exactly difficult to defeat still, and you can use relevant protection plays if needed. But that's it for the requirements and items. Now on to the quest starting point. So we're currently at the Schematics province Lodestone, which we can access via the Lodestone network. Now if you don't have this one unlocked and wish to unlock the rest of the Lodestone network as well, I have a guide in the description below, which will be rather handy for you to do, just to speed up completion of the quest. From here, the quest starting point is just near where you would go to do the Giant Dwarf quest, which is near the dwarven city of Keldgrim. So we're going to head towards that way now. So if you keep going northeast, there's a dungeon entrance that will lead you to where the route to Keldgrim is. So I'll speak to you once we're there. Once you're in this cave, you want to go across the hole in the wall to the next area, and you'll be taken to another cavern. Inside this cavern you'll see 2 dwarfs, and you want to speak to the dwarf ferryman to cross the river, and then from there the quest starting point is just around these couple of bridges. You'll see the quest star symbol on the minimap towards a mining area, and you'll see a dwarf who is firing cannonballs at a wall, and you want to speak to him. So the dwarf you're looking for is called Daken. So when you speak to him, you'll inquire about why he's shooting cannonballs at a wall, and he'll explain that the wall is in fact a special rock. By that fact it's impenetrable. After having no success with a pickaxe and being abandoned by his colleagues, he requests your help in analysing and harnessing this enigma. So once you accept the quest, he will suggest entering the dwarf city and finding someone who knows their way around the rocks, or if that fails, speaking to the librarian. Now if you haven't completed the giant dwarf quest yet, you'll need to talk to the dwarven boatman, who is next to the ferryman, to be able to visit Keldgrim for the first time. This will automatically start the giant dwarf quest off if you do this. So if you have already done the giant dwarf quest, you can just walk that way. There's a little shortcut you can go through, and what we want to do is head into West Keldgrim, and then what we need to do is go inside the conservatorium, which is the largest building there, which is separated by the main river, and directly east of the entrance there'll be a dwarven engineer. So if you just watch where I'm going, I shall show you exactly where the engineer is, so don't worry too much about directions. So once you find him, speak to him and he'll tell you about Rolad, a renowned scholar who used to work with Daken on the rock. He eventually left, saying he wanted to travel the world and learn by experiences, and he was last heard being with the Blackguard at Ice Mountain. So we're going to head to where the dwarven mine area is, which is near Falador. So we're going to teleport to the Falador Lodestone via the Lodestone network. Once there, you want to run northeast until you get near the entrance to the dwarven mine, and you want to go in the most northeastern building and speak to the dwarf named Rolad. Mention Daken and his impervious rock, and you'll suddenly remember a book which had details about the same rock and how it got placed in the Keldgrim mines. He had torn out the relevant pages to study them, but has unfortunately misplaced a bunch in the underground mines. So you want to offer to help him retrieving the pages, and you want to climb down the ladder to enter the mine. Now some of these pages where I show you where to find them might require several attempts to actually obtain them. So the first page can be found by killing scorpions, and there's a load of scorpions a bit further on in the dungeons. You just want to keep killing the different scorpions until you find one of the pages. The second page is found searching the mining carts, and it's different for each player, so you might end up searching every single one of them, but there's only this sequence of carts around here, so it'll be in one of these. And then the third one is found by mining most all rocks inside the mine. However, if you cross over into what is technically known as the mining guild, those rocks don't work, so you need to be in the actual main sort of network. So as long as you mine the rocks near sort of where the scorpions were, you'll eventually find a page. Once you gather all the pages, they will automatically combine, and you want to return to Rolad with these and hand them over. Once you speak to Rolad and give him the pages, he'll give you a book on Dwarven lore, and you'll read the book and you'll learn about the history of the solid rock and about how a certain Arzinian being from Bordazan was trapped inside a mine containing yellow stones. So with this new information, we need to head back to Dondakon, the dwarf we spoke to start the quest, so you want to head there the same way as you did before. So I'll speak to you once you're back there. So once you're back, speak to him and inform him about the trap spirit and the gold, and he tells you that the other metals like adamantite and runite and granite have failed to make a dent on the rocks, which you suggest using a yellow material. So use a gold bar on him and he'll ask you to create a golden cannonball out of it. So you want to head to the nearest furnace. There is one in Keldagrim, but I would just suggest teleporting to Lumbridge Lodestone. There's a furnace several paces north of there, and then you can just teleport straight back to the Fremennik province Lodestone and then return to Dondakon. But yeah, basically what you need to do is use your gold bar on the furnace with an ammo mould in your inventory, and it will make a golden cannonball. So once you've made your golden cannonball and you're back to Dondakon, you want to give him the golden cannonball, and too impressed by its appearance, he eventually agrees to try shooting it at the rock. A cutscene will happen where Dondakon fires the golden cannonball and it passes right through the wall and disappears. Astonished and excited, he plainly suggests throwing you at the wall, but alas, he needs the schematics to modify the cannon to be able to fire a human. Considering the safe passage of the golden cannonball, he also tells you to make yourself a golden helmet to pass through the wall. So, to correctly alter the cannon for safely shooting a human, you need to find all 4 sets of schematics. Dondakon will give you the first schematic. You need to read the Dwarven lore book to find the base schematics, which will destroy the book in the process. One of the schematics is held by the Dwarven engineer who we spoke to in Keldagrim. So if we head to where we spoke to him earlier, talk to him and he'll hand over one of the schematics. While you're round here, you should make your gold helmet, as there's plenty of anvils around to do that. You use 3 gold bars on the anvil to make a gold helmet. And for the final schematic, we need to head under the passageway between White Wolf Mountain and Catherby, the one that you unlock in the fishing contest quest. So if you head towards the Tavali Lodestone via the Lodestone network, once there, head to one of the tunnel entrances and go to the pub, which is sort of in the middle section, and talk to Korvac, and he'll ask you for a Dwarven Stout, and you can agree or disagree to get him one. If you disagree, a unique monologue is said by the player. Otherwise, you want to grab 1 stout off the nearby table and hand it to him, and regardless of the option you choose, he'll give you the final schematics. Once you have all the schematics, you want to click assemble on any of the pieces to bring up an interface which shows the schematics all scrambled out of order. Your goal is to move and or rotate the schematics individually so they fit with the base schematic. So on the interface there are some checkboxes to basically toggle which schematic you want to see and then which one you're moving when you adjust the direction of arrows. But basically you just need to sort of keep rotating all the different pieces around until they best fit the base schematic. What I shall do, I shall pause the screen of how the final schematic should look, and then you guys just need to basically copy that on your own screen. So once you have the finished schematics, you want to go to your bank and get any combat gear required to fight the enemy that I mentioned at the beginning. You need to make sure you got your gold helmet, and be sure to keep some inventory spaces for collecting some gold ore, which I'll explain in a minute. But once you're ready, you want to head back to Dondakon the dwarf at the quest starting point with the completed schematics. So once you're back there, you'll show a cutscene of where you're shot into the rock, and then once inside the rock you'll be surrounded by gold ore and veins. Now mine as much as you can, because the enemy's combat level will be dependent on how much gold you have. Now I will admit, I tried to mine a few pieces of the gold when I actually went to battle him. He wasn't that difficult, but I don't know whether it was the gold that actually did anything, or it was just the overall combat level of the enemy isn't that strong. But just to sort of make it easier for yourself, it might be worthwhile just mining a few golden ores. Now you must keep on your gold helmet whilst in the cave, otherwise you'll be kicked out of it and all of your mined gold will disappear as well. Also, you only have 8 minutes in here to do everything, so be swift. When you feel you have enough gold, you want to head to the centre of the area where you'll find a set of flames, go through the first wall of flames, and right click on the ring of fire and select talk, and an Arzinian avatar will come and attack you. Now the spirit can attack with any combat style. Which form it takes is dependent on your highest combat skill. So for example, if your magic level is higher than other combat levels, the avatar will attack with range, so obviously it's based around the combat triangle. Now if you have access to the Protect from Praise, you can resort to that, but to be honest, overall the spirit's not that high hitting, and as long as you've got a bit of food on you and some decent combat gear, you should make pretty easy work. And obviously the more gold ore you have on you, the less combat level it will have anyway, so you shouldn't have much difficulty here at all. So when you do defeat the demon avatar, you'll be teleported out of the mine, and then you want to speak to Dondakan to finish the quest. So, once you've finished speaking to him, it will come up with congratulations, you've completed Between a Rock quest. You're awarded 2 quest points, 5,000 experience in defense, mining and smithing, a rune pickaxe, 2 treasure keys, 2 hearts of ice. Players may keep their gold helmet and access to the Arzinian mine, where 146 gold rocks and veins can be found with minimal completion. After the quest completion, the Dwarven Boatman, Eastern Mine, will bank the player's gold for a small fee. He'll keep 20% of the ores, or if you have an activated Ring of Kairos and use that, he'll keep 10%. So overall, not an extremely difficult quest to be honest with you. Bit of travelling around, but the overall fight isn't difficult at all, especially if you do resort to mining some gold ores. That makes the fight an absolute walk in the park. Some decent experience to be gained in obviously those skills. A rune pickaxe, that's a fair bit of money for you there straight away, so you can, even if you choose to sell it or just choose to keep it for when you have a suitable level for it. And also access to the gold mine area is handy. I believe there's probably more suitable training areas for mining, but it's definitely an option there, and with the Dwarven Boatman being able to bank gold, you've kind of got a sort of consistent gold depository you can keep doing. But like I said, there's probably other good training areas out there, so you might not necessarily use this. And again, this quest is part of the Dwarf quest series, so some other quests are unlocked by doing this one. But yeah, I don't think you'll run into any problems following my guide. However, if you do get stuck at all, leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll help you out as best I can. If not, thank you for watching. Please make sure you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Cheers guys, bye bye.